If this is a ceasefire, then everything should be frozen and there should be no movement. By the way, I can absolutely say that the Americans have no specific plan for the conflict in Ukraine. I just advise you not to fall for Donald's tricks, because he is your man in this respect. He's a media man. He can make one statement in the morning and another in the evening.
We're happy to see you once again. Our congratulations on being re-elected as the president of Belarus. So I'd like to wish you all the best, and to our brotherly Belarusian people, we would like to wish all the best. And I believe that today's visit will be held on a good level with good outcomes. And it's very gladdening that your first official visit after being re-elected as the president of Belarus, you're making this official visit to Russia. And it makes sense because we have special relations between our countries, united relations, brotherly relations, and we always reiterate this. But considering the official status of your visit, so I believe we should say it once again, we are united by historic ties and the relations between a lot of our nations, and our relations can be an example to many other countries in the economy, in security, our cooperation on the global stage.
No, they won't trick us, and Russia even less so. There were always tricks. They lied or cheated, or something else. Well, it's time for us to think with our brains. I think this is what you and I know. Today or tomorrow Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin will talk to Trump's representatives and envoys on this topic. And there's a bunch of issues there, apart from a 30-day ceasefire. And that has to be weighed as a whole package, and a decision has to be made accordingly. No, it's not a trick. And it won't be one. It won't, because we know what we want. They know what we want. So it won't be a trick. And then, for it not to be a trick, we have to make it look normal on the other side. If this is a ceasefire, then everything should be frozen and there should be no movement. The Ukrainians will most likely not agree to this. That's what I was just saying. You see, I've been thinking about it. 30 days of ceasefire. What are the Ukrainians and the Americans demanding? The Ukrainians have nothing to go on. The Americans said 30 days. By the way, I can absolutely say that the Americans have no any specific plan for the conflict in Ukraine. Absolutely not. What are they doing? Well, maybe have plans in general, to stop the war there, stuff like that. What are they doing now? They are probing the ground. We'll talk about this today. Vladimir Vladimirovich will tell me about what they said in Saudi Arabia. They're probing the ground, finding out what these people want, what they can push, what they can't push, Russia, in this case. We have been discussing this problem for a long time, that Donald will come and say his word and that's it, or the sanctions will be imposed. They have already imposed so many sanctions against us that there is no place to impose them. So they pushed on Ukraine, and what can they change? Nothing. They agreed on 30 days. So be it, 30 days. They say they agree to 30 days. The Russians, if those 30 days. The economy will work, the military-industrial complex will work, they will produce weapons and so on. They will not take it to the front, they will store it all in warehouses. There should be no movement in Ukraine, because they are transferring weapons from abroad. As soon as it's noticed, it will be a violation. So I don't think the Ukrainians will agree with this yet. They think we're going to refuse, the Russians are going to refuse it. And they're going to have this leverage that Trump was talking about. I mean, there's so much more rubbish here that we don't need to rush into it. I just advise you not to fall for Donald's tricks, because he is your man in this respect. He's a media man. He can make one statement in the morning and another in the evening and easily mislead both you and us. So my advice to you is just look up to the facts. Only facts. And the facts today are that tomorrow or the day after tomorrow the Kursk region will be liberated completely. It's already evident, because your commander-in-chief has gone there. So yes, it will be liberated. In Pokrovsk, on the border, it's a very bad situation for Ukrainians at the front. So we have to move forward somehow. I won't say that everything is fine here. We are most stressed by the economy. You see and know it very well. But we will deal with the economy. We have everything we need to live normally. We won't live wealthy at this time, but we'll live normally. But there is nothing there, in Ukraine. And Europe will not help them.
Мы согласуем сейчас позицию. Ну, не толкай его уже, раз спрашивают, пусть спросят. Поэтому не переживайте, у нас чуть-чуть лучше, чем было когда-то.